guys, how's it going? Brendan here, aka Mr. Weaverface. Thanks for watching, and as always, thanks for subscribing to the channel. I'm doing a little pickup video here. I just posted one, and I just found this other opportunity for some vintage computer Commodore 64 video game software utilities. I saw this ad posted on the OfferUp app, and everything was advertised for 80 bucks, and I counter offered with 50, and there was no counter offer after that. Guy just took the 50 bucks. So yeah, I already went through the transaction. The whole bin of games and software are back there on the back seat. I'm excited to go through it, and also he threw some extra stuff in there that wasn't included in the listing in the pictures. So I'm excited to go through that and see if there are any gems that may or may not be in there. So let's go home, check out the Commodore 64 goodies, and see what we get. Alright guys, so here's the huge bin of Commodore 64 stuff, 50 bucks for all of this. These are the extra things that weren't shown in the listing that he included. Basically a bunch of discs, and none of them seem to be like original games, but there are a lot of discs in here. There's one called like the Capital Area Commodore Club, so I guess people sharing software, and there's a bunch of utilities like music and graphic stuff, and there's also in some of these they have like public domain software, so I'm excited to go through those too and just kind of see what games are out there, because really for the Commodore 64 there's probably 10,000 games for that system. It's amazing. So yeah, let's start going through this bin. Couple of books in here, looks like. Geos Inside and Out. I don't collect the books for the Commodore, so I'll probably put a lot together and put them on eBay. Probably get a few bucks for those. Here's a couple more books. Official book for the Commodore 128 computer. I did ask him if he had other video game stuff or hardware, and he said no. It would have been cool to get like a 128. There's another book for you. Yeah, so here's a game, Ticket to Hollywood. Just looks like a trivia kind of game. Scruples. I don't have this game yet, a Hole-in-One Miniature Golf. And of course the graphics on the back are never shown for the Commodore 64. It's always shown for the systems that have better graphics. Man, I remember this sticker. Look at that. Electronic Boutique sticker, man. That's amazing. Anyway, Power Assembler, that's for programming. Grand Prix Circuit by Accolade. There's an old school Toys R Us sticker, 25 bucks for this back then. Anyway, this does still have the shrink wrap on. I don't know if I have this or not. I have to go through. That's another thing I need to do. I need to go through my game room because it's looking a mess again. And I have not documented all my Commodore 64 games in my spreadsheet, so that is on my to-do list today. So I probably will do a video of that too. This game I saw for like 30 bucks on eBay, Space Shuttle. And this is the disc version. I think there is a cartridge version of that as well. Ferrari Formula 1, and it says demo copy not for resale. So I don't know what this would have been included in that it was not sold. So that's interesting. I think I have a Star Fox, not Star Fox, that's for the Nintendo. Sky Fox, which is a demo not for resale. So yeah, if any of you Commodore aficionados know where this would have came from, like a not for resale, please let me know. Here's a game that I already own. It's called 10th Frame. It's a bowling simulator, and this is actually a game that kind of tried to curb the whole pirating craze. It has this special diode or capacitor in there. You can see the thing sticking out of the top, and you plug this in the back of your Commodore 64, which allows you to play the game. So I think that's pretty neat. That's the only game that I know of that did that. There may be some out there, so if you do know any others out there, please let me know in the comment section below. The President is Missing. I actually own this already. But this is a cool game. It's like a graphic adventure. There's actually a cassette in here that has like the kidnapper's demands and mystery clues. Good luck finding a cassette player to play the game. But it's a disc game, but the cassette is separate, so you can like listen to the audio. So another cool game, War Game Construction Set by SSI. SSI games are always good. So that definitely is going to be one that I'm going to want to play. And I have to say again, all these games, like, they're like minty fresh. It's great. Here's Risk, which I already own. I'm trying to, you know, I owned a lot of these games, but I don't see Commodore 64 lots sold locally a lot. And I just had to jump on it because it's just like nostalgia for me. It's pretty cool. A bunch of user guides for the 1571 disk drive and some paperwork in there. I'll go through all of that. Here's a cool graphic adventure, 221B Baker Street, a graphics mystery adventure. Looks like Sherlock Holmes style by Datasoft. Yeah, and it has like all the paperwork in there. Yeah, I think I did pretty good on this lot. Ooh. Warning, contents of envelope are protected by tiny little pit bulls. So this was, yeah, so this was from Ron Hackley out of California. It's called the Fun Graphics Machine. This is pretty cool, man. I like finding stuff like this. Because there was, I mean, back then, man, there was, and still today, there is a huge following for the Commodore. There's a huge network of people into that. So yeah, it looks like it's a software, and there's a instruction manual in here too. So that's pretty neat, man. Yeah, a huge community of Commodore 64 stuff. And if you are into Commodore 64, I am part of a couple of groups on Facebook. And if you know of any groups to join, please let me know, because I'm always looking to network with people who love the Commodore 64 as much as I did. And like I said previously, I never got into programming, so I'm not into that kind of stuff, but I love Commodore 64 games. Man, oh man. Oh, here's another mailer. What is in this? This is called Rabbit Jack's Casino. Cool. By Q-Link, Quantum Computer Services. And then they have like, that looks like a legit game though. It doesn't look like shareware, not shareware, but community software. Cool, so that was like a mail order game. 85 cents for this back then, for postage. 1989, from Alexandria, Virginia. That's so cool, man. Jeopardy, this actually is in pretty good shape, because it has like the cardboard inserts. So I probably will use this to update, because I do have I do have a Jeopardy already, but that looks in better condition. This box is crushed. St. Andrews, the home of golf. So I'm not sure. Leaderboard Golf was the game I played on the Commodore back then, so I don't know much about this. The box is crushed. Looks in poor shape, but we'll see. These looked cool. These are actually these huge boxes, and all is in there. This is ridiculous. There's a little cassette in there. So these were data sets. So you know the load time is not going to be fun. There's almost like no, well there is a manual in there. Original, these are in good shape, but I think it's kind of ridiculous they have this huge ass box for that little cassette right there. Totally could have saved space. So B-1 nuclear bomber and Midway campaign. So it looks like a couple war simulating games by Microcomputer Games, a division of the Avalon Hill Game Company. All right, we got a huge Commodore 128 manual. That is very cool. Cassette bonus pack. So yeah, the Commodore had these. There were a bunch of that were with this kind of, you know, style for like math and spelling and stuff. I don't think there were too many cool games, but yeah, I mean, there's instruction manuals in here, and it has a bunch of data sets in there to load up. I don't know if I have that or not yet, but it looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, so here's a random thing of disk utilities as well. So extra games. Here's a loose game. Microcomputer Games. Football Strategy. Oh, that's like pre-Madden. Looks awesome. Here's a TimeWorks personal computer software. Okay, Swift Calc. So getting away from games, so a bit more of stuff like productive software programs. Another microcomputer game, Bomber Attack. You know, in the US, I think in the UK, like a lot of the games were mostly on cassettes, on the data sets, and in the US, like it was all disk drives, so all disk-based games. So for me to, you know, I do have a Commodore 64 cassette player, so technically I still could load them up, but the load times like take forever. All right, so here's a movie maker. I guess getting into sprite building and stuff. Well, there's a lot in this bid. Music construction set. That one looks a little empty. Oh no, there's a disc in there. Cool. Alright, so Pegasus Patrol Hydrofoil Missile Craft Simulation. It's actually by Lucasfilms. I think there's a picture of them in there. It doesn't have a picture of George Lucas, but it does have a picture of like of the game designers in there. Golden Oldies. So this has 4 games on it: Adventure, Eliza, Life, and Pong. So Pong for the Commodore 64, man. That's interesting. That's why the software tool works. The front's a little bent, but they don't take up much room. They're like a record. You just slide them in with all your games, so that's cool. Racing Destruction Set. I think I do have that one. All right, and a bunch of you know, productivity software down here. Graphics Expander Volume 1 from the owners of the print shop. So this was like to add more cool stuff. I remember making, do you guys remember making like the old school dot matrix cards and stuff? Like it would print it out and you have to fold it a certain way. I thought that was the coolest. Like that was, I have a lot of nostalgia for that. Yeah, EasyWare, 2 programs. This is like not exciting at all. Spreadsheet and integrated graphics. Here's a game, Pub Darts. Doesn't actually look too bad. Budget title. Disc is in there though. Bunch of extra stuff, paperwork for the Commodore 64 or the 128. Here's a game. I love playing these games, man. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? It's supposed to include the World Almanac and Book of Facts, but I do not see an almanac in there. I do see the book, and the disc is in there. Cool. Doesn't have the almanac, but still the box is pretty good. A little bent on the back, but yeah, I remember playing Where in the World, Where in the USA, Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego. Those are cool games. All right, so this is a bunch of utilities here. Homeworld Plus, And I'm not going to be keeping these. I'll probably resell these. If any of you are interested in any of these, please let me know. CAD Pack 128 for the Commodore. That's for like architectural kind of stuff. Geos 128. Pretty good. Power C. It's a true C language compiler for the Commodore. Screen editor. Oh, what's this? Logo, the programming language that grows with you. For use with Atom. Oh, so this is for use with the ColecoVision. That is weird. I've never seen this before. Oh, that's pretty neat. And they have a little cassette in there. And tons of directions. Holy hell. That is interesting. I didn't remember seeing that in the listing. Alright, so here's a good utility. If your disk drive isn't working right, the 1541, 1571 drive alignment. This is by Free Spirit Software. I actually had one of these and sold one a while ago for like 20 bucks at least. So everything looks in there, so that's cool. I'll just check my disk drive with this before I send it out, before I sell it. Alright, and the rest, pretty much all this TimeWorks software. There's Data Manager 2. I don't think this stuff goes for a lot. WordWriter 6. Sylvia Porter's Personal Finance. Data Manager 128. If any of you guys want this stuff, let me know. I don't collect the utilities, and I just collect the games. Partner 128. And WordWriter 128. Alright guys, so thanks for hanging in there. If you did hang in there towards the end, you are probably a Commodore 64 fan. Or you just like seeing my reactions to me opening up these games and softwares and stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I do have a subscriber contest trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So please share this video, share this channel with everyone that you know. I would totally appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'm Brendan, aka Mr. Weaverface. Take care.